In the days that followed the exposure of the drug ring, the quaint farming community buzzed with gratitude and admiration for Jake and Twinkle. The once lonely farmer found himself surrounded by newfound friends, and the mischievous fairy became a beloved figure, her infectious laughter echoing through the community. Although, the community agreed to keep the whole fairy aspect a secret within the community and not reveal it to the world, at least not just yet. One day, just a few days after the drug ring bust, Jake was working on his farm assisted by Twinkle, who regularly visited him and even helped him with his farm work. It was a particularly hard and tiring day of work, and at one point in the afternoon the two of them decided to rest for a bit under the ancient oak tree at the edge of the farm where Jake had originally heard the magical whispers that guided him to the magical grove for the first time. Twinkle, with her usual playful yet sweet demeanor, sat down and patted the grass beside her, inviting Jake to sit. He happily obliged, settling down beside her. With a contented sigh, he then laid back on the very short yet soft grass. The events of the past days had brought them closer together, and the camaraderie between them had only grown stronger. And of course, the playful banter between them, which often included lame and cheesy jokes, continued to frequent many of their interactions, bringing more charm to their bond. "You know, Jake," Twinkle began with a mischievous twinkle in her eye, "you've got a knack for turning ordinary moments into something very special. I think you've discovered the real magic in life." Jake grinned, "Well, I think I learned it from you, my pretty magical guide. Who knew a fairy with useless wings could bring so much laughter and joy?" Twinkle playfully pouted, "Hey now, I may not fly, but I've got charm, remember?" Jake nodded and smiled. "That is indeed true." Twinkle giggled, "Besides, these wings may not make me soar through the skies, but they're still pretty fabulous, thank you very much." Jake chuckled, "Fabulous, huh? I bet they're not as fabulous as this soft grass I'm lying on." Twinkle raised an eyebrow playfully, "Oh, really? Grass over wings, buddy?" Jake smirked, "Well, let's see. Feel this." He reached over and plucked a strand of grass, gently tickling Twinkle's arm. She squirmed and laughed, okay, point taken. Grass can be fun, but don't underestimate the power of fabulous wings." Jake smiled in response, and let out a yawn. "Just relax, Jake," Twinkle said sympathetically, her wings fluttering lazily, "farming is hard work. Even the most diligent and hard-working people need a break." Jake chuckled, "You've got that right, Twinkle." With a mischievous grin, Twinkle scooted closer, and to Jake's surprise, she got into a kneeling position and patted her lap. "Why don't you rest your head on my lap? I think you'll find that my thighs make a surprisingly comfortable pillow." Jake raised an eyebrow, a playful smirk on his face. "Really? It wasn't exactly comfortable during that incident when my head got squeezed between your thighs while we were spying on the drug ring." Twinkle chuckled as she recalled the incident. Despite the tense situation then, they had found it amusing at the time, and they still found the memory amusing now. "Yeah," said Twinkle with a mischievous yet sincere grin, "it was quite a tight spot, literally, wasn't it? But you don't have to worry about that here. Come on." She patted her thighs again. Jake hesitated for a moment before deciding to comply. "All right," he said, "but no funny business, okay? I don't want to wake up with bunny ears or something." Twinkle laughed. "No promises, Jake. But I'll try to keep the bunny ears at bay. Now, lie down." Jake rested his head on Twinkle's lap, discovering that her thighs were indeed softer than he could have imagined. "Well, I'll be." "You're not wrong, Twinkle. Your thighs are like clouds," Jake remarked with a grin. Twinkle laughed, her melodic voice filling the air, as she gently started stroking Jake's hair. "Indeed, Jake, fairy thighs are where it's at. Who cares about flying when you've got a built-in pillow?" Jake couldn't help but join in the banter, "True, true. Maybe you should market this, Twinkle's Fairy Thigh Pillows, guaranteed sweet dreams." Twinkle playfully swatted his arm, "Oh, hush, you. I'm not starting a pillow business. Besides, I think this is a limited edition offer exclusively for my favorite farmer. Jake raised an eyebrow, feigning surprise. Oh, am I your favorite farmer now? I thought you were into magical creatures and enchanted fields. Twinkle winked. Well, you've got your own kind of magic, Jake. The magic of turning ordinary moments into something special. Jake winked back at her. The same is true for you, Twinkle. Like you said, you may not fly, but you certainly have charm. They continued their banter, while reveling in the simple joy of a light-hearted moment shared between an unlikely farmer and his enchanting fairy friend. Jake continued to relax, with his head resting on Twinkle's lap, and Twinkle still gently running her fingers through Jake's hair, as the peaceful sounds of the farm surrounded him, the rustling leaves, the distant chatter of animals, and Twinkle's soft laughter. In that serene moment, the unlikely pair found comfort in the simplicity of friendship and the shared joy of their connection.